Hey, welcome back to my garage. I got this piece of poplar. It's a 6x2, 2 feet long. Let me cut this into thirds real quick and I'll be back. All right, it's split into three. I'm gonna go over here on the bandsaw and split it into three more. Three 8-inch pieces for each piece of poplar. And then I'm gonna use this extra piece of cedar for a 10th piece. Basically, it's gonna be 10 handles for another holiday production run kind of thing. Back in a minute. Quick change of plan. I got another piece of poplar here. I'll make a couple of glue blocks out of this, but that cedar had a knot and it wasn't the right kind of grain orientation, so getting the 10th out of this other piece of poplar. That board's all cut up. I got 10 8-inch pieces of poplar, so 10 handle blanks. We'll get to this over the next month, but I obviously have kit here for 10 cocktail muddlers. 5 and 5. We'll set these in there. Anyhow, it'll be just some spindle turning, a little project for the holidays that I'll be doing with those in conjunction with those cocktail smokers over the month of November, hopefully, ideally. Anyhow, this is just the preparation to that video. Back with that sometime soon. This might not make sense at a later date because I'm crossing over into future videos, but I just put that extra piece of poplar for the 10th handle into use with 2 glue blocks, along with that leftover piece of white oak. I can't waste any room with the 2.5 inches I got because I have to part off a lid when I'm turning those cocktail smokers. So back to the cocktail muddlers, I just put that extra wood to good use, so there'll be glue blocks in the other video. Anyhow, hopefully that will make sense whenever I get to these. All right, I'm back at my lathe with these cocktail muddler blanks. Got it in my 2-inch jaws, got a 1.5-inch Forstner bit on here. Just gonna quickly make sure I got a flat surface. Barely going in. I'm going to repeat this for all 10 of my blanks just to give me this nice flat surface. All right, the next step is to get ready for these. So to do that, I got a 7/16 inch drill bit and I'm going to drill 7/8 of an inch deep. Again, I'll repeat that for all 10. All right, I'm back with all the holes drilled. Got some 5-minute epoxy. Just gonna put a little on the back side of this. Not too much, getting it on my fingers. And anyhow, I'm going to use this to sink it. Hopefully not to get too much around, but just sink it just below. There you go. Just below. Wipe up any excess. Don't want to get it in with those threads, but there was nothing in there. It was just on the outside, just to be safe. All right, repeat that 10 times. Okay, all 10 blanks are set up. I'm gonna let this epoxy cure for a day or two and enjoy Thanksgiving with the family. But I'll come back with one of these on a mandrel, start turning a handle, break up the monotony of turning those cocktail smokers with some of these cocktail muddler handles. Anyhow, back soon. Happy Thanksgiving. Hey, welcome back to my garage. Hope you all had a great holiday. I just wanted to give a little bit of a backstory here before I get started. About maybe 3 months ago, I was interested in turning some cocktail muddlers after having a few drinks with my cousin. Anyhow, I was searching all around. Couldn't find these heads for the life of me. And then lo and behold, the Woodturner that I follow and subscribe to, Carl Jacobson, did a video making these very things. And I don't know if it's his company or who he's connected with, but Niles Bottle Stopper is where I got these from, the mandrel and these heads. So I'll link Carl's video in the description, as well as the website to get these at Nile Bottle Stoppers. But check out his video. He did one with a maple burl, I believe, and that was kind of the inspiration to my video, and I've basically been following him step for step so far. But here's where I'll start to vary. Is obviously I'm going to turn my style of handle, which will be different, a little bit different from what he did, and I'm going to do 10 different versions of it, so I'm not doing the same thing all the time. But you get this mandrel on here, and then obviously we set those with 5-minute epoxy. Get these on here. That'll be the, hopefully this holds up. It's not the strongest. So that's as tight as I'm going to make it, hand tight. Hopefully it holds up here. But I'll bring up tailstock support and start turning my handle. I just wanted to give credit. Check out Carl's video. Like I said, I'll link that in the description, but that was the inspiration behind this. Once I finally found out a place where I can find some muddler heads. Anyhow, let's get this round. A little more to go. This poplar is so soft. It's like running through butter or something. Hopefully it's strong enough for these handles. Back soon. All right, now it's round. Now I can start turning the handle. All right, now that it's all round, this is the handle part, so somewhere about here. Somewhere about there is where it's gonna have the high point. I'm gonna start by bringing this tip down with the spindle gouge, because this width at the end of the mandrel is the same width as the heads of the cocktail muddlers, so I'm going to start bringing that down. Hopefully I can do this around the camera. It's a little awkward. Okay. It's a little awkward with you having on that side. I might have went a little, yeah, I got the washer a little bit. Went a little too narrow with that. So that's as far as I can go at the end, but I'm going to clean up right here. Make a new design. So just coming up with a design that I like, messing around. A little bit of a hump I gotta get out. My tool is a little bit high. That's kind of clunkier than I was hoping for. I might bring this down a little bit, but we'll keep going. All right, I missed filming a little bit, but I added a little bead up here. I just didn't like the shape, so I was using my spindle gouge, and then I brought in my very detailed spindle gouge. Got a tight fingernail grind on it. So I created this little bead right here. We'll see if that's a deep enough groove to All right, just wanted to burn those lines around that bead. I'll sand this next. Actually, before I sand, there's one more step I forgot about. I worked down this bottom. I'm going to saw the rest of it out. It's ready to break off. There we go. This, I'm gonna have to be very gentle sanding it. You see how it moves. Just soft wood. Gently sand it, and hopefully I can friction polish it. All right, that's sanded up to 600. Hopefully you can see that. And if you got eagle eyes, you can see the design has changed. That's because this is handle number 2. Here's handle number 1. I'm at 180 grit on this one, and this thing, the metal thing came unattached, right? Didn't come flying off or anything, but it was just spinning. So I got it off of there and was able to put, there's a hairline crack right here filled with CA, and then I was able to put a new 5-minute epoxy and get that set in there again. So I'm just letting this cure, turn another handle in the meantime. But you gotta really support this end. All that's connecting it is that little screw, and I just wasn't supporting the end enough and put a little too much pressure, and then that thing just started spinning inside. So I figured while I waited for this epoxy to re-cure, reset in there, I'd turn a second one. So different designs. This one's sanded to 600. I was in the middle of sanding 180. I started at 120. Was in the middle of sanding 180 on this when I had to re-glue that center. So just full transparency. So in case you try this, you got to be gentle. And when you're out here on the end, what is this, 8 inches? You got to really support it with your other hand when you're sanding, when you're doing anything, because you just don't want this to tear free inside. But learn from that first one, and obviously it's easy. Just re-glue it and turn a second one. So this one's ready for the friction polish, but I'm going to carefully take this off, put this back on, get this sanded up so I can do both at the same time. Bring you back for that. All right, like I said, sanded up to 600, getting some sanding sealer on it now. Bring it back with the friction polish. All right. Rub the abrasive paste all over it. Let's work it in. All right, let's move on to the friction polish. See if this will hold up to those speeds. All right. Looks pretty nice, huh? I got my mask on, but just wanted to show you Cocktail Muddler number 1, the original one's back on the lathe. I'm not going to show you all the steps again, but I'll bring you back with 2 finished products. Just showing that after re-gluing that, re-epoxying that piece in, handle number 1 made it through the whole process too. All right, thanks to that little epoxy snafu, I'm back with 2 cocktail muddlers on a Friday evening. They came out really good. Perfectly flush with the tips. They're lightweight. The poplar, nice color, has a great feel to it. Anyway, you make your drinks, old-fashioned, whatever you're making. Use the muddler, take the tips off, toss them in the dishwasher, right? Get them cleaned up, put them back together, use it again. A really nice setup. Like I said, if you get a chance, check out Carl's video doing the same thing. I'll link it in the description. And if you're interested in any of these kits, check out, I believe it's nilesbottlestoppers.com, and I'll link that in. But yeah, very happy. I got 8 more to do. I'll make each one of them a little bit different to keep it interesting. But yeah, 2 cocktail muddlers in the books. Different tips, but couldn't be happier with them, how they turned out in the end. Beautiful little project for an evening. Anyhow, take care. Thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a good one.